You can go a whole day without doing anything physically demanding and still come home completely exhausted. And it's because your nervous system did all the heavy lifting that day. And if you're a woman who naturally draws attention, your nervous system has probably been running overtime for years without you ever clocking it. Being attractive comes with perks, sure, but being highly visible is draining. And most people never stop to account for it, which is why a lot of pretty women stay tired no matter how much sleep they get. Think about a simple trip to Target. You go in for one thing. By the time you leave, two men have approached you, some woman was watching you across the aisle the entire time, and then a stranger struck up a whole conversation with you at the gas pump on your way home. You get in the house and you're sitting there wondering why you feel so drained when all you technically did was run a couple errands. Let me break down what happened to you. We tend to think stress only comes from the big obvious things: work, money, being sick, going through it with somebody. And yes, all of that is stress, but your nervous system isn't only responding to hardship. It responds to uncertainty, to being evaluated, to being interrupted mid-thought. It responds to being watched. Stimulation itself is a stressor. And make sure you subscribe because I'm really about to go in. Every interaction you have comes with these tiny calculations you're barely aware you're running. Take the man who approached you at Target. In the span of a few seconds, you had to figure out whether he was just being friendly or actually flirting, whether he seemed safe or like he might not take a polite no very well, and whether smiling back would be read as an invitation you never intended to send. And then you had to actually decide something. Do you smile or keep walking? Do you respond or pretend you didn't hear him? Do you make eye contact or look past him toward the door? People assume being tired comes from doing things, but making decisions all day drains you too. And most women aren't counting how many tiny choices they've already made before lunch. On its own, one of those moments is nothing, but an attractive woman isn't running that math once a day. You're running it constantly, and every single time it takes a little something out of you. And it compounds over time. The more attention you've had to deal with over your lifetime, the more your brain starts bracing for it before you're even aware you're doing it. You walk into the gym, the grocery store, the gas station, and before you've made a single conscious decision, you're already reading the room. You clock who's looking a little too long. You notice who's shifting like they're about to walk over and start a conversation. You pick up on the person giving off an energy that feels slightly off, even if you couldn't explain exactly why. People love to call that paranoia, but it isn't. It's a program your brain built from experience, and running that program all day is labor, even though it looks like absolutely nothing from the outside. We assume being on high alert is supposed to feel like fear or panic. Most of the time, it doesn't feel like anything because it's become your baseline. Think about how you sit in a restaurant. You probably choose the seat facing the door without ever consciously deciding that's what you're doing. Or how you glance around the parking lot before you even get out of the car, checking who else is out there before your mind has fully registered that you're checking. You pick up on someone's tone shifting mid-conversation before they've said anything you could point to. You've already got your response ready before the other person finishes their sentence. Do that for enough years and it stops feeling like vigilance and it becomes your default. But it isn't who you are. It's an adaptation that never really lets your nervous system power down. There's a difference between being physically tired and being nervous system tired, and some people don't know how to tell them apart. Everybody understands sore muscles after a workout or aching feet after a long shift. Fewer people understand what it feels like when your mind has spent hours reading, predicting, and managing everybody else's energy. That kind of exhaustion doesn't live in your body, so resting your body doesn't resolve it. You can get a full 8 hours and still wake up depleted. Sometimes the exhausting part isn't even the interaction itself. It's managing somebody else's emotions during it. Say a man approaches you and you're not interested. You're not just declining, you're thinking about how to let him down without embarrassing him in front of his friends. You're softening your tone so he doesn't feel rejected in a way that turns into an attitude. You're smiling just enough that he walks away thinking you were nice instead of thinking you were rude. Watching your back around people takes energy. Managing a grown man's ego so he doesn't get hostile takes even more. So by the time you finally get some time to yourself, you think that would be your chance to recover, but being alone isn't automatically the same as resting. Real recovery for your nervous system means you're not performing. You're not explaining yourself to anybody. You're not smiling because it's expected of you. You're not reading the emotional temperature of everyone around you or keeping one eye open and your head on swivel. That's what privacy gives you. It lets your brain stop processing other people for a little while. And a lot of women go weeks, sometimes longer, without ever getting a stretch of that. And beauty itself was never the problem. It's the visibility that ramps up the stimulation. Somebody insecure will find you intimidating even when you haven't said a single word to them, and somebody else will take something completely neutral, like you not smiling back, and walk away convinced you think you're better than them. So now you're not just dealing with your own day, you're dealing with everybody else's assumptions about you too. Attention isn't always a threat, but attention is almost always stimulating, and stimulation without recovery eventually collapses into exhaustion. Your body keeps the score. So, protecting your peace is maintenance. Take the long walk with nowhere to be. Read the book instead of scrolling. Spend a whole day completely offline. Let a text sit for an hour instead of answering the second it comes in. Stop making yourself reachable to everybody at all hours of the day. Every one of those choices gives your brain permission to stop working for a little while. So you're not lazy. You might just be overstimulated, and you're not antisocial either, but it could be that your brain has spent years keeping tabs on everyone around you and is simply asking for a break. The more visible you are, the more your nervous system has to carry, which is exactly why guarding your peace was never selfish. We treat peace like something you're allowed to have once you've earned it through productivity. I'd argue peace is what makes productivity possible. Drop a comment and tell me, have you ever come home completely drained and realized it wasn't physical at all? It was mental? Or caught yourself scanning a room without even meaning to? Share this, like it, and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Take care.